Rob Penney, what pleased you the most about that comeback?
Yeah, like game of two halves, the old classic cliche really. I think it was 7 penalties, 9 turnovers in the first half. Western Force, they played really well. A lot of credit to them. They put a lot of pressure on us. And then we discussed that at half-time, obviously, what we thought we needed to do to rectify it, and the boys, I guess, implemented it fantastically well about winning the kick battles, playing a bit more territory, and I thought our game management in the second half was really good, and we had a massive turnover in terms, or change around in terms of the penalties awarded and balls lost, and as I say, the game management was quite clinical for long periods, which was really pleasing, and managed to finish over the top of them, which was a great credit to Sinai and the boys.
Rob, you talk about how pleased you were with the second half, but in the first half, I mean, you said before the game that you knew this was an emotional game for them. Can you put your finger on why they were able to sort of dominate parts of that first half?
Which Rob?
You guys, sorry, Rob.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it there. I think they came with a lot of emotion, and no matter what you do and behind the scenes to try to generate that yourself, there was always a little bit about, I guess, the unknown, and we're still a group that are finding our way in terms of preparation and competing at this level. So we fell into the trap early on of young guys trying to maybe express themselves a little bit too much too early, and that's where the errors came, and that compounded. So that's what I say is a lot of credit goes to the boys to be able to, I guess, change tactically and adjust what they needed to do to get the outcome. So it's a step forward in the right direction.
How's it feel to win? A bit of pressure, I dare say, relief?
Well, all I can do is do what I do. Of course, it's lovely to win. I hate losing. And I guess you can sleep a little bit easier at night knowing that you've got points in the bag. But as I said, the main, I guess, driver is seeing this young group make progress, and that would look to me like they'd made another little step forward today. We're still on a roller coaster, so I don't think that's the end of our ups and downs. But if we keep working hard and we're true to ourselves and we keep faith, this group's got some potential to get a lot better.
Rob Simmons, was there a moment that you felt out there that you felt the momentum changing and you thought you could really ice that game?
That whole second half, I think. A lot of the time we're probably in here talking about one guy changing a game, but I think that our team in that second half just really turned things around, started playing the right part of the field, and I think everyone rolled their sleeves up and went to work.
Rob, you would have been at the Reds back in the day when it was a young side coming through. A win like that tonight, where you come from behind, how big, how important can that be for a young side, what the Waratahs are now?
Well, it's a stepping stone. It's very important, but it's what we do with it now moving forward. We have a very talented team, but they're all very young. And it throws me back to 2009, 2010 at the Reds. We had a lot of young talent coming through, very enthusiastic, just loved playing. We probably overplayed our hands a lot, and then we came into some good game management post that, and was quite successful.
And Rob Penney got a bit of impact from the bench tonight. Is it likely those guys want to start to force their way back into the starting line?
Yeah, the bench is such a critical part of your group, and for them to be able to come on, and there's a wee bit of experience there, as you could see, and for them to be able to come on and really finish the game and close it out for us clinically, I thought they all contributed magnificently well, and you need that. You're a squad of 38, 39 men that are working away. And the guys that weren't picked have had a great couple of weeks supporting the guys that are getting picked to help us make progress. And then, as you said, the boys off the bench tonight contributed really meaningfully. And whether the best spot is to continue for them to be off the bench and closing the games out, or whether some of them have, and it's not earning the right to start. They could all start, but it's about getting the right combinations to be able to get you started. Work your way through the middle components and then finish strong. So we're just still toying with that balance.
What about Carmichael in particular? His skill set, obviously a couple of big kicks there and players helped get back possession. Do you see a future with him here and at the club?
Yeah, Carmichael's been gold the last, since forever, I guess, 17 years as a pro, a lot of experience. And it seems to me that he's got a deep desire to continue, and that's what we want to see. And his contribution tonight, as part of that mature group off the bench, contributed greatly. As you said, those couple of 50-20s, a couple of robust carries. He's doing everything asked of him and more at the moment, which is wonderful to see.
It sounds like a broken record with Michael Hooper again, just absolute workhorse, energizing bunny. It must be nice to be able to bank on that most weeks, even when things were tough in that first sort of 30-40 minutes.
Yeah, he's terrific, isn't he? And he got a couple of genuine steals at critical moments. Yep. Did you want to add anything from your perspective?
I thought he was excellent as well. He probably should have got more. Each ref is different and they're going to interpret different things. But I think if we went off last week's game, he would have got tons of turnovers. He was in there causing havoc, and he didn't get a few calls. But that's footy.
And even a guy like him, do you think he's slowly adapting to that? There was clearly times when he thought he had a few and Gus wasn't paying them. Do you think he's sort of even trying to get into that groove?
Yeah, well, Hoops is a smart player. He can adjust in a space of 5 seconds. So he has a crack early in the game, and if he's not getting those rewards, he can do, play a different game and make his tackles, make some good shots, and be back on his feet. And like you said, he's everywhere on the field.
And I think the interpretations, as we saw out of New Zealand early, was the Jackler was getting a lot of leeway, and that pendulum swung back a bit. And it looks like here that I guess even last week the Jacklers weren't getting rewarded as often, and the pendulum has even shifted back a little bit tonight for Hoops. He got on a few that you would go, ooh, that's close. But for one reason or another, he didn't get the reward. But as Simo said, he puts himself in those hard positions and makes it tough on the opposition. They have to work hard to get him out of there. And that's the balance the referees have to strike, whether he's actually genuinely got in there and is going to be rewarded for that, or he has to fight a bit longer.
Turnovers or not, he's creating havoc on the opposition. It's a player you have to consider.
Rob Penney, we saw a cracking contest across the ditch in New Zealand tonight, and followed this. It was a bit of a grind. Do we need to stop comparing ourselves to New Zealand rugby directly, or is it just appreciate Australian rugby for what it is and young sides that are starting to develop?
Yep, because what you're looking at over there with the Blues and the Crusaders, you've got two teams there that are mid to late in their cycle in terms of their game maturity, how long they've been playing a style, I guess, of rugby. The Blues have been a side that, if you could just take them for a moment, that have been together for 5 or 6 years, but have never really accomplished what the talent might say they're capable of. But over the last 18 months, they've gradually stepped up, and now everyone's lauding them. They've had time to build. The Crusaders, their succession planning's second to none. So they know, who their replacement is in 3 years' time, and they're already being indoctrinated to the way the Crusaders play. If you look at the Reds, they've made some really good progress. Brumbies obviously playing some really great rugby, and we're at the beginning, I guess, of our cycle here at the Waratahs with, for all the reasons you've mentioned, I've mentioned. So I think if we compare the game tonight with the Crusaders and the Blues, it's like an All Black trial because of the numbers, but you'd have to say tonight's game, although the boys are all desperately keen to try to play for Australia, not the equivalent, I guess, if you're matching apples with apples. It's not the same just yet. So, yeah, I think it's tough. I know what you're saying though, and you want to look at it and go, wow, there's a difference, but I just think there's a difference in the cycles, a difference, I guess, in the time that they've been together. And out there's a side that have been together with me and our coaching group, which is quite new. We've been together since late November last year, so it hasn't even been a 12-month cycle yet. Western Force have been together for, I don't know, 3 months, 2 months, less. Great credit to them to pull that team together and be so competitive. A lot of credit goes to them. So, yeah, I think it's really tough to compare. Patience, just a little bit of patience. Hopefully we can get there.
Any injuries to go to keep an eye on?
No, we're pretty good, thanks. Yeah.